Welcome to this free workshop, Strength Training Strategies for Men Over 40. And as a man over 40 myself, I've got two kids, I've got a business to run, so I don't have as much time to spend in the gym that I used to. And I'm certainly not as strong as I used to be either. But with that said, I'm pretty proud to say that I can still pretty much outlift pretty much most guys in the gym, and that includes guys a lot younger than me. And I'm going to share some of the strategies that I've been using, you know, throughout my sort of training career, throughout my 20s, 30s, and now in my 40s to help me maintain, and be as physically strong as I possibly can be. So I'm going to share some of the strategies I use, some of the strategies I teach my clients, most of which are well over 40 into their 50s. Some of my clients are even in their 60s. Why do most men over 40 lose their strength? There's three main reasons why men over 40 lose their strength. Number one is the hormonal changes we go through. As a man, our testosterone levels peak at around the age of 25. And then after 25, every year, our testosterone decreases year after year. And with that, we lose strength, we lose muscle mass. And, naturally, our bodies start to decline after that age. And we want to be doing all that we can to slow that process down, some of which I'm going to be sharing in just a second in this workshop. Number two, poor lifestyle habits. Generally, as we get older, we adopt more poor lifestyle choices like, you know, working longer hours, work-life stresses, drinking more alcohol, making poor food choices, not getting to the gym, not exercising as much as we should be, not getting as much sleep, and lack of structure with training. If you do get to the gym, most men are just going through the motions. They have no structure. They have no progression within their training. They're just showing up and just simply going through the motions. So today I'm going to talk to you a bit about training and progressive overload. Now, this is something that applies whatever age you're at. If you want to get stronger, you want to build more muscle, then we need to progressively overload the muscles. The trouble is, as we get older, we can be more susceptible to injuries. And most guys, when they think of progressive overload, they simply think that means lifting more weights. And certainly when I was younger, going to the gym was all about, how much can I bench? How much can I curl? It was an ego thing. But here's the thing, guys, your muscles do not know what those numbers mean at the side of the dumbbells. That's just you and your ego. You want to lift the big numbers, of course, but progressive overload doesn't just necessarily mean lifting more weights. There are a number of ways that we can get stronger, three of which I'm going to share with you here. So number one, we can increase the reps. When you're in the gym and let's say you're doing, 10 reps of, let's say it's a bench press, rather than increasing the weight, why don't you do more reps? Why don't you go for 12, 15, 20 reps? If you start doing that on every exercise, you're really going to feel the difference. Number two, this one is very underrated. Not many are using this, and it's slowing down your rep tempo. Now, this forces your muscles to work a lot harder. When you slow down the reps, you really have to feel the exercise. It really forces you to use good technique. There's no sloppy form here. You can't throw the weights around. You can't get sloppy with your form. So you really have to focus on technique, and by slowing down, it really makes your muscles work a lot harder. And then the other thing we can look at is reducing our rest periods. Okay, most guys don't even track their rest periods. Let's be honest. Most guys they finish their set, they get distracted, they check their phones, they're checking social media, maybe they're watching the TVs in the gym or they're chatting to their mates. And before you know it, 5-10 minutes has gone by before they get into their next set. But let's say you do track your rest periods. Let's say you're resting for 60 seconds between sets. By just reducing that to, let's say, 45 or 50 seconds rest, that's going to make a massive difference to your workout and the intensity of your workout. If you're doing that with every exercise, not only are you going to complete the workout a lot quicker, but it's going to be a much more intense workout. So, progressive overload, guys, it's not just about increasing the weight. we can progressively overload the stress on your muscles by doing these three things: increase the reps, slow down the rep tempo, and reduce rest periods. So there are all these things that you can do before you even look at increasing the weights. And the beauty of this as well is, if you don't get to the gym, you can implement these strategies with home training as well. If you don't have access to much weights, or you're just using your own body weight, you can still implement these three strategies without using any weight, just using your body. And it works very, very well for increasing muscle mass and for increasing strength, progressive overload. So, yeah, think, guys, before increasing your weights and putting your body at risk of injury, putting more stress on your joints, work through this process of increasing reps, slowing down your rep tempo, putting your muscles, you know, putting them under, we call it time under tension, more time under tension, and then reducing your rest periods. I hope that's useful, guys. Here are some of the guys that we've worked with in the past. On the left, Luke, who was working with me through all of last year. We put him through our fat loss accelerator, and then he went through our strength program. And the picture you see here was literally within the first month to 5 weeks of us working together. He got much leaner, and you can really see his muscle definition starting to pop out through the resistance training principles that I've just shared with you. And the knees on the right here, again, we put him through a fat loss accelerator to get him a lot leaner, and you could see the muscle mass starting to come through once he started to lose that body fat and going through the process. And guys, really, we've talked about testosterone here as well. It's really important that you stay as lean as possible to maximize those testosterone levels. The more body fat you carry, the less chance you are going to be likely to be producing good quality testosterone. So just getting yourself as lean, building, muscle is not necessarily about getting as bulked up as you possibly can. You want to stay as lean as you possibly can, because then your testosterone levels are going to be at an optimal level if you're at a healthy weight, and you're going to find it much easier to build muscle mass and strength from a place of being lean rather than a place of being big and bulky. Most guys think they need to bulk. It's not about bulking. It's about getting lean and then strategically adding. I'd much rather you add 3 or 4 kilos of lean muscle. You can get much stronger through doing that rather than adding 10 kilos of weight, which on the scales might look great, but you're going to carry a lot of body fat doing that. So I hope that's useful, guys. And just to share with you here, this is our Fit for Life client success map. This is the process we take our clients through. So as I mentioned, before any strength program, it's really important that you're as lean as possible. So our level 1 program is our fat loss accelerator. We want to get our clients as lean as possible. We want to get them moving more and eating right, because unless you do that, you're going to really struggle to pack on the lean muscle and get stronger. So it's about getting you as lean as possible, building some good habits, and that's what we do in level 2. We really ingrain the habits of someone who loses weight. You've probably seen it in the past, and maybe you've experienced it yourself, where you've got yourself lean, you've lost some weight, and then you've slipped back into old habits and put that weight back on. Level 2 really is about ingraining those habits so that the weight stays off. And then we can really focus on getting you as strong as possible. When you're lean and testosterone levels are optimal, we can really maximize the gains in strength. And then level 4 is all about champion's mindset. When you go on a journey like this, you have to be in the right mindset. You have to have a positive attitude and embrace the challenge and embrace change, because there will be changes that you need to make. And then once you go through this phase, it's going to increase your self-confidence. It's going to improve your performance in every area of your life, because the discipline required to go through a process like this, you can apply in any area of your life. So I hope that's useful, guys. And I'd love for you to book a one-to-one game plan session with me if you want to talk more about your own personal fitness goals and journey, and what we can do. We can have a conversation. We can look at where you are right now and where it is you want to get to. And then what we can do, we can map out a strategic game plan for you that's personal to you, which takes away the guesswork of figuring out all this stuff for yourself. There's no obligation to join our Fit for Life program. Of course, if you'd like to find out more about Fit for Life, I'd be happy to share some details with you. But at the very least, book this free call. There's no obligation to do anything. You'll get a lot of value from it, and you'll have a strategic game plan that you can implement, something that's actionable, so you can have a lot more clarity and focus from this session. So book your free call. There'll be a link just below this video, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.